Russian President Vladimir Putin says that he got nuclear weapons that are invincible. Mr. Putin made the threat at his annual State of the Union speech today. This comes after the U.S. withdrew from a Cold War era treaty and ahead of Russian elections. And in a video presentation, Putin claimed that one missile is low flying and difficult to spot. And he says it ultimately has an unlimited range and unpredictable flight path. Well, he also showed off a long-range submarine missile. It's capable of delivering a nuclear warhead. For more, we turn now to CBS News national security correspondent David Martin. He's at the Pentagon. David, how are U.S. officials responding to this and as he's saying it, invincible weapons?
Well, the Pentagon spokeswoman said just a short time ago that the U.S. was not surprised by the development of these new weapons and had already taken them into account in assessing the threat posed by Russia. The fact is that the U.S. has never had a defense against Russian ballistic missiles. So the fact that Russia is adding another type of missile, a cruise missile, to its nuclear arsenal still doesn't change the fact that the U.S. is defenseless against Russian missiles. The U.S. could always retaliate against a Russian strike in a way that would wipe out Russia, and that's the so-called balance of terror, which has existed ever since the first Cold War between the U.S. and the then Soviet Union. And these new weapons don't change that same balance.
You know, Putin says that these weapons are essentially undetectable. Does the Pentagon agree with that, too?
Well, certainly an underwater drone, which is essentially a mini submarine with a nuclear warhead on it, would be very difficult to detect if it approached the U.S. in a stealthy undersea manner. And if it were targeted at a large port or naval base, say Norfolk or San Diego, it would cause immense havoc and destruction. But you could say the same thing about Russian ballistic missiles, which would also be targeted against all major ports and naval bases. The cruise missile is a low, slow-flying, unmanned airplane. The U.S. has used cruise missiles for years now in the various wars in the Middle East. The difference here is that Putin said that this missile is powered by nuclear energy, which in effect gives it an unlimited range. So it could fly a very low profile, taking evasive maneuvers, and it would be hard to detect. There's no question about it. But a cruise missile flies at speeds of hundreds of miles an hour, and ballistic missiles fly at speeds of several thousand miles an hour. So at least with the cruise missile, you have more time to react.